Hello everybody, welcome back to another Level Up Extra video. This is one that I have been requested to make and I think might be quite useful for some of you. And this is how to use Anki. If you don't know, Anki is a flashcard software which I've been using for many years, and it's been really great in my language learning journey. It's been really helpful. And basically how it works is you study something, and then based on how well you remember, it will show you that card again in a few days or weeks or however long it decides that you need to see it. So it's kind of nice because you don't have to remember to study anything. It basically decides with the algorithm, it decides for you when it should show you that card again. And I'll show you an example of what I mean. You can see here, this is my Anki dashboard, and I've got a few different language decks here. I've also got one for geography because I'm quite interested in geography. So for example, this is a random one, but I'm trying to learn the districts of Bangkok. And here we've got one highlighted. So this kind of shows you how it can be used for images. And I think this might be Bangkok, something like that. I'm not very good yet. So let's see, I can show the answer.
Bangkok.
I was right. I don't know exactly how you say it, but it does have some audio here as well. But okay, that was actually quite good. So now you can see at the bottom, we have 4 options. Again, we'll show this card within 10 minutes because I'm not very good at it. Hard will show this in 2 days. Good will be 5 days. Easy will be 10 days. I don't often click easy, but this certainly wasn't easy. I'd say this was good. I kind of remembered, but I wasn't confident. So okay, I think this is good, and that means this card will be shown back to me in 5 days' time. So I click good, and then we continue with the other cards. And it works in a very similar way with languages as well. What I always suggest, as much as you can, is to make your own flashcards because it becomes much more useful when you can do that. I have this Japanese one, for example, that has, I think, probably like 7,000 cards. It's a huge deck, and it's been something I've been adding to for many years, but that is a huge part of my study routine. But I'll try to show you the basics. It can look a little bit confusing at first, but it doesn't have to be confusing. So let's pretend we're making a new flashcard deck. We can click this button down here, Create Deck. I'm going to call it Example. So then once we've done that, we have an example deck, and it's totally empty at the moment. It says we finished when we click on it because there's nothing in it. But if we want to start adding cards, we can click this Add button at the top. And this one is fairly simple. So the type of card is shown on the top left here. So there are a few different types. You can spend a little bit more time looking into these and making your own if you get more advanced. But I think basic is good enough to start with. Basic is just front and back. It's really, really simple. On the front, you would put word in my language. On the back, you would put word in English, if you're learning English. And then you can click this add button at the bottom, and there we have one card. So when we go back, we can see new, we have one new card. So we click on this, study now. Oh, okay, word in my language. Let me remember. So you have to remember what this would be in English. Okay, I think it's this one. So then you show the answer. Yes, I was right. Word in English. Okay, good. In fact, that was really easy. So I'm going to click easy, and I'm not going to see it again for 17 days. Wow, that's a long time. So that's one example, a very simple example of what you could do. Another way, basic and reversed. So this one is kind of what I prefer for many situations. So let's say native language card and English card. We'll do that again, and we'll add it. When we go back, we can cross that. And actually, one other thing that I would suggest is looking in the options. So click on this cogwheel, go to options, and you can see the daily limits here. So this is how many cards you want to study each day. At the moment, it's on 1 card per day. So I'm going to click this deck to change how many I want in this deck and put it up to 5. So I want to study 5 new cards every day, and then click save. And now you can see we have 3 new cards. How is that possible? Well, let's have a look. So one of these was the one we did just now. And this is the new one. So native language card. Okay, so this is going to be English card. Yes, I got it right. But now we see we have a new card, English card, and on the back is native language card. So what this is doing is showing you both sides of the card. Because one thing that a lot of flashcard software does poorly is it only shows you one side. So you might be translating from your language into English, but it's also a very good skill to translate from English back into your language. So that's one thing that you could do to make it more advanced. Obviously, it will take more time. But yeah, that is called basic and reversed card. So it's a little bit more than just the basic. And the one that I really like is this one here, basic, type in the answer. So now we have front and back. So if we want to add a card with writing, it's very similar. We can just say your word, my word, which would be English word, let's say that. And audio is optional. So then we add, and once we close the editing view, we can go back to study. And now you see we have your word, and then we've got a writing box here. So what would this be? Your word, I think this is going to be dog. No, it's not dog. Oh, of course. So actually, this is interesting because you can see it highlights the word you get wrong with red, and it makes the word you got correct green. So, I got one letter right just by chance, right? So that was wrong, and I would click again, which will show it to me immediately because there are no other words left in the deck. So yeah, you can write something there and it will come up there. So that's also very useful. I think those will be the 3 most useful ones for most people, but you can start out with basic cards. That is basically all you need to know to get started with Anki. When you close, it should sync between devices, or you can press the sync button here, and this will manually sync between your laptop, your phone, and your account online as well. So you can use it between devices, just make sure you sync before using it on another device. I think one reason why Anki is so popular is because it can be quite simple, but you can also make it as complex as you want to. If you've used Anki before, you might notice that my deck looks a little bit different, and this is because I've done some edits to it. So when you want to get a bit more advanced, you can look at these 2 things here, fields and cards. Field is the different, as you can see here, front of the card, back of the card, and audio. So you can add audio if you want to. You can add more fields as well. I'm not really going to get into this in this video because this is more of a beginner introduction video to Anki. But if you want to get more advanced, you can play with these fields and add more of them too. Just to give you a quick example of how this might work. On my Chinese deck, I have 3 fields, actually 4 fields. I have one for the Chinese in, Chinese characters. I have another field for pinyin, which is the way to see it if you don't read Chinese characters here. And that can be shown on the front of the card. And then once we click the answer, I have the English and the audio as well. So on this one, I have Chinese, pinyin, English, audio. So this is a bit more advanced. It was a little bit more time consuming to set up, but that's just one example. Another thing you can see, which I've made it more advanced, is I've got colors here. So Chinese is red, English is green, and there's also a box around the answer side of the card as well. So there's a nice box with a shadow underneath. The background of my Anki is not quite white, it's kind of a light yellowy color. And all of that you can see if you go to cards and styling. So this is, as you can tell, much more advanced. There's some coding stuff here, simple coding. My boxes here. Styling, I've got some CSS styling just to make some text bigger, change the colors. But that's just one thing you can do to make it more advanced later down the line. There are also more tabs at the top. So we have Decks, Add, and then Browse. This allows you to see all of the cards that you've made before. And so you can edit them in this Browse screen as well. That can be quite useful. If we close that, stats are also very interesting. If you're like me, you love to see the stats and you can see how much time you spent on it and all this kind of nerdy stuff that may not be super useful for everyone, but I think it's very interesting to see. So you can have a look at the stats here. And I think the final thing I should mention, you might be wondering, Michael, what if I don't want to make my own cards? Then you can click this button down here, Get Shared. If you click on that, it will open in your browser and you can search for a deck or you can click a language like English and you can view all of the Anki decks that other people have made online with the highest rated at the top here. So if you click that one, you can just download it straight away and start studying. So if you don't want to make your decks, you can just pick one from here that you like and it will give you a little bit of a preview of what each deck is like as well. As you can see here, we have a download file. Once you've downloaded it on your computer, you can just double click and it should open in Anki automatically. I guess one more thing, just in case you're wondering, I've got some extra stuff on my screen here. These are add-ons, just to show you my total study time and all this stuff. If you want to get add-ons as well, you can go here, Tools and Add-ons. And then these are my add-ons. You can click Get Add-ons to find some online. But these basically improve the experience. They make it easier to use, but they're really not necessary. So don't worry about them at the beginning. I hope you found this introduction useful. If you think I could improve it in any way or I missed anything, leave a question down below and I will answer your question there. But I hope this has given you a good idea on how Anki can be very easy to use at the beginning, and once you get more familiar, you can make things more advanced as you go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.